Hey YouTube, how's it going? We're back with another NBA recap. This is episode 10 of NBA in the Bubble. We've got 5 games to cover off today. We do have some news that we'd like to update you with. It has been reported that Ben Simmons is heading out of the bubble to undergo surgery after his injury. The 76ers have not given a timeline for his return to action. This could be a huge blow to a 76ers team who are coming into this playoffs with something to prove. That being said, let's not get caught sleeping on Joel Embiid. This is an opportunity for him to go absolutely berserk in the playoffs. I would keep an eye out for that. Now let's dive into our NBA recaps. We've got some cracking games to cover off today, so let's not waste any more time. And in game 1, we have the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Portland Trail Blazers. This was a very tight matchup, as the short-handed Clippers team takes on a feisty and tenacious Portland Trail Blazers as they aim to make their way into the NBA playoffs. With the race for the 8th seed tightening up, getting a win tonight would be critical and invaluable for the Portland Trail Blazers as they try and secure a foothold for the 8th seed. It should be noted that tonight the Clippers are without Kawhi Leonard, Montrezl Harrell, and Pat Beverly. Although Portland led for most of the game, they were never really out of the crosshairs of the LA Clippers. There were more than 20 ties and lead changes throughout this game. It should be noted that both teams had incredible offensive performances from individuals and as a whole. In the absence of some of their big-time scorers, the Clippers still saw 6 different individuals have double-digit nights tonight. They were led by Paul George, who scored 21 points on the night, with an even 50% from the field and 50% from three-point range. Portland, on the other hand, had 5 different players scoring in double digits, with 4 of these players having 20-point nights. They were led by an incredibly efficient CJ McCollum, who had a quiet 29 points. This game was decided in the final minute of the matchup. With the Clippers down by 3, Landry Shamet finds Patrick Patterson cutting for the easy deuce under the basket. He gets fouled and goes to the line, makes his free throw, and it's a tied game. On the other end of the court, we have Damian Lillard, smooth like a knife through butter, cuts his way through the heart of the defense and hits a reverse layup to give the Blazers the lead. It should be noted that Paul George didn't play heavy minutes in the second half, so without him on the court, the Clippers look to find some sort of offense at the other end as they try and tie or gain the lead. The ball ends in the hands of a 26% three-point shooter in Gary Magruder, but his percentages before now didn't matter. He steps up to the plate and knocks down an ice-cold three-pointer. With the Clippers now up by 1, the ball is in the hand of Dame once again. He drives to the rim and gets fouled. However, he misses not 1, but 2 clutch free throws. With 19 seconds to go, the Blazers are forced to foul, but all this does is delay the inevitable. The final score in this game, 122-117. Clippers win by 5. This was a great game with lots of players to be able to shine the light on. However, today I'm giving a surprise performance to Gary Trent Jr. Although at this point, it's not seeming like a surprise. I've said it before and I'll say it again. He has been exceptional for the Portland Trail Blazers in the NBA restart. If the Blazers make it into the playoffs, he will be a real key to their success. Now let's dive right on into game 2. Here we have the Utah Jazz versus the Denver Nuggets. Out of the gate, it looked like Utah was going to run away with this game. They were shooting lights out from three-point land. And with Jokic struggling on the offensive end in the first half, it really wasn't looking good for the Denver Nuggets. However, I don't think we could call it bubble basketball if there wasn't a close game in the end. After struggling big time on the offensive side of the ball in the first half, Nikola Jokic came alive in the second half, chewing away at the Jazz lead, one large mouthful at a time. The Jazz are down by 4 with 10 seconds to go, and coming out of a timeout, Donovan Mitchell hits a high difficulty turnaround 3-point jumper and makes it a free throw game. Jeremy Grant is fouled. He misses the first free throw and makes the second. It's a 2-point game. Looking scarily like the Flash to Wayne Wade, Donovan Mitchell starts his drive from the half-court line, slices through the Nuggets defense for an easy dose. The game is tied 105-105. We are heading to overtime. Coming into overtime, Denver is looking to make a massive push and take control of this game. They make it a 6-point game. However, on a massive offensive rebound, Mike Conley gets the ball and goes up for a 3-point shot. He makes it and there's an and one. We have a 2-point ball game on our hands. Despite Jokic being in full control in this game and seeming to score at will, Donovan Mitchell hits a timely 3-point shot with 30 seconds on the clock. This young man is ice cold. He puts the Jazz up by 2 in a one-possession ball game. On the other end, no one else but Nikola Jokic hits 2 clutch free throws to tie the game again. In this incredible offensive duel, we head back to the other end of the court. Donovan Mitchell, out of a timeout, hits an icy J from the free throw line to put the Jazz up by 2. Surely, this game is over, with only 3.4 seconds left on the clock. If you thought so, you would be sourly mistaken. On the other end of the ball, Jokic will not be outdone. He gets the ball coming out of a timeout, and with an incredible rip-through move, he makes his way to the basket and scores with only 0.9 seconds left on the clock. It's a tie game, and we're heading to double overtime. In double overtime, it was Jamal Murray's time to shine. In his first game back from injury, he played extended minutes and was absolutely exquisite. This was capitalized by his incredible performance in double overtime. However, not to be outdone, the Jazz kept on making bucket after bucket to keep themselves in this game. The Denver Nuggets fight back to be able to go up by 7 points. It's looking very dire for the Utah Jazz now. After a couple 3-point attempts, the Jazz are actually able to bring the game within 3. On the other end of the court, Jeremy Grant goes up and hits 2 clutch free throws to make it a 129-134 game with 7 seconds left on the clock. The Jazz will not go down without a fight. The incredible young man Donovan Mitchell hits another high difficulty 3-point J to make it a 2-point game. The Jazz are forced to foul Jamal Murray, who leaves the door wide open for a comeback by missing both of his free throws. However, without enough time, the Jazz are unable to get a quality shot off, and this game finally ends. Denver Nuggets take a hard-fought W. The final score, 132-134. Nuggets win by 2. We're almost 7 minutes in, and we've only covered off 2 games, so let's just dive right into our next game, in which we have the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Indiana Pacers. Coming out of the gates, Indiana takes control of this game behind the playoff bubble GOAT, TJ Warren. They led by as much as 11 points in the first quarter. A late second and early third quarter surge helped the Lakers stop this game from running away from them. They actually begin to take control. However, surprisingly, Victor Oladipo turns up big time for them, hitting timely 3 after timely 3 to keep Indiana Pacers in the game. As we head into the fourth quarter, this is a tight game, staying at single possession for most of the quarter. LeBron tries to take control of the game, but Indiana keeps on putting the ball in the hand of their playoff MVP, TJ Warren, who leads them to a W on tonight's game. The final score of this game, 111-116. Pacers win by 5. The player of this game is none other than the GOAT himself, TJ Warren, who ends his night with 39 points. He shoots a ridiculous 68% from the field. If I was an Eastern Conference playoff team, I would be scared to my bones to match up against TJ Warren and his Indiana Pacers. That's game 3 of 5 really close games. So let's head right on into game 4, in which we have the Phoenix Suns versus the Miami Heat. Phoenix is the hottest team in the NBA bubble, having won all of their games as they head into this one. Devin Booker looks to make this one 5 in a row. However, Miami controls the pace in the first and second quarter, leading for the majority of the first half. However, coming out of the break, Phoenix simply would not go away. They make this one a nail-biter, with the lead changing hands multiple times in the third quarter. However, in the fourth quarter, the Suns took control of this game. Led by Ayton and Devin Booker, who have incredible offensive performances, they're able to take away the win. The final score on this one, 119-112. Phoenix win by 7. The player of this game is Devin Booker, who ends his night with 35 points to go along with 6 assists. It's really disappointing to see that Miami continues to lose without their all-star Jimmy Butler in the game. I really hope he gets some reps before the playoffs so that he can get into his rhythm and they can really be a threat in the East. And in our fifth and final game, we have another tantalizing overtime thriller with the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Magic helped Dallas to control the majority of this game. However, the Bucks came alive behind an explosion from Brook Lopez. He ends his night with an incredible 34 points. However, not to be outdone, led by Luka, the Dallas Mavericks hit 3-pointer after 3-pointer to tie this game. and in a shot that will probably haunt him for the next few nights, George Hill gets it wide open at the 3-point line to win the game. However, he bricks the ball, and we have ourselves another overtime game. With Luka Doncic smoking, the Bucks are forced to double team him in overtime. However, this doesn't matter. He continues to find the open shooters, who hit time and time again, and Dallas takes control early in the overtime period. The Bucks would not go down fighting, however. Led by their MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo, they go on a run of their own. However, Luka Doncic is an absolute fiend. He stays level-headed in this game and is able to lead his team to a W. The final score of this game, 132-136. The Mavericks will win by 4. The player of this game is Luka Doncic, who ends his night with 36 points. That on its own would be enough to give him the player of the game. However, that is just one part of a monstrous triple-double that Luka records tonight. He grabs 14 boards and a jaw-dropping 19 assists. And at the end of the day, even Giannis, the MVP, isn't enough to be able to control Luka tonight. And that wraps it up as far as our games are concerned. Before we let you go, let us know what you think of the news section at the start of the video. Make sure you let your friends and family know where they can find daily NBA recap. We're NBA YouTube's best kept secret. And with that, Mo Allo out.